Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and honored guests. I would like to tell you today about a book that I just happened upon in the Allentown Public Library. I bought it on a lark for 25 cents, and the title is Self-Hypnosis. Well, what do I know about self-hypnosis? I know nothing, except I remember going to a party where there was a hypnotist. And there was a person at our table who I know was not a plant, she was a friend. And she got up there and got hypnotized on stage. And when she came back to our table, she's like, I think there's an ice cube down my blouse. I really do. And a few minutes later, she's like, oh, it's so cold. So I knew that hypnosis was a powerful thing to give her those kinds of ideas. So I bought the book, and I started learning through reading this that there's a lot of myths about hypnosis. People do not take it seriously. The first thing is that people think that you're asleep when you're hypnotized. This could not be farther from the truth. In actuality, you are in a hyper-alert state. Secondly, people think that you're under the spell of the hypnotist and he will make you do anything, he or she. In fact, the hypnotist is only a facilitator, and you will never do anything to yourself that you would find dangerous or morally reprehensible. It won't happen. Thirdly, people think that a hypnotist, to be hypnotized, you are either stupid or gullible or just plain crazy. Again, this is not true. For one thing, crazy people or people with psychiatric disturbances are very difficult to hypnotize generally, and those who are most successfully hypnotized are really the normal population. When you think of all the things you do daily where you are in a hypnotic state, there are a lot, like when you're driving from point A to point B and you forget how you got to point B, or when you're engrossed in a book, or you're enraptured by a movie, or when you're daydreaming. These are all hypnotic states, actually. So let me tell you about reading this and taking its advice. Okay, I chose an induction which consisted of imagining myself going down a staircase. An escalator. I imagine my hands being on the chrome. I imagine the movement of my hands. I could see the silver steps. I could see glass and skyscrapers and all kinds of high-tech things around me. And as I slowly went down each successive step, I imagined myself more and more going to the center of the earth. Actually, going to the center of my being, to that compost within me that's there fermenting, collecting every possible experience I've ever had in my life, which is amazingly powerful. It's the stuff that's unconscious, not the stuff that is conscious. It has a lot of power. So in my mind, I hit bottom at the bottom of this escalator. I found myself in this root cellar in my mind, and I told myself about what I wanted to change. Just a few seconds of thoughts I had. And I induced myself back up the steps to reality. The next day, I found the most marvelous thing happened to me. A habit I've had for 45 years disappeared. And that habit was chewing my nails. I had chewed them daily, like a corn cob almost, if you can imagine. to the quick, and all the potions of the bitter nail polish and all of that would never work for me. I would just bite through it all. And I found 4 months later that I'm still not biting my nails, and I know that the only thing I can attribute it to is those 5 minutes that I took with myself going into self-hypnosis. So I encourage you to try self-hypnosis. You probably want to read a little bit about it, and what you'll find is that it's a very enjoyable, relaxing state of affairs. And you will find that the ability to relax this way, through this intention, is a great life skill. That's the very least it can do for you. The most it can do for you is completely transform your life. You could stop bad habits that you have, maybe those dozen donuts that you eat a day or at one sitting. Maybe you want to quit smoking. Maybe you want to control your anger or change your attitudes about things. Maybe you want to decrease some pain that you're having in your body that doesn't seem to go away and isn't something that's medical. All of these things are very possible with self-hypnosis. So I encourage you to go out there, try it, and enjoy it, and find meaning in the self-improvement that it offers you.